power of the sea is awesome. Its large waves have 3 tons of pressure per square foot. A wave 10 feet high and 1 mile wide has more than 300 million pounds of power, a force equal to an atom bomb. Millions of Americans throng to the beaches each summer weekend. All of us assume we are safe from tidal waves. Our sense of security can suddenly be shattered. This happened in the Kuril Islands north of Japan in 1969, as seen in this extraordinary film of the actual tidal wave. In 1979, tidal waves killed 200 people in Indonesia. Where will they strike next? Hilo, Hawaii, a peaceful coastal town located in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Few places in the United States are as blessed with the combination of sun, sea, and beautiful weather as Hilo, Hawaii. At the same time, few places are as constantly threatened. On April Fool's Day 1946, a tremendous tidal wave took the residents of Hilo by surprise. The tidal wave raced up the town's main river, destroying Hilo's only railroad. These photographs show a man on the dock being swept to his death by the giant wave. Seconds later, he is gone. More than 170 people were killed. Hilo was left a water-soaked ghost town, still vulnerable to another tidal wave attack at any time.
Nothing makes us feel as helpless as facing natural disasters. We're frightened by the prospect of feeling an earthquake or being caught in a tornado, a thunderstorm, or a fire. None of them strikes with the suddenness and savagery of the so-called tsunami, the Japanese word for tidal wave.
They are born miles below the surface, underneath the seemingly tranquil ocean floor. Strong underwater disturbances, such as a volcanic eruption, may generate a tsunami. Underwater earthquakes are the most common cause of tidal waves. When the Earth shifts vertically, tons of water are forced upward. A series of tidal waves form on the surface, spreading out from the epicenter in every direction. The massive energy of the wave pulsates to the deepest depths. Once born, the tsunami cannot be stopped or controlled. From this origin, tidal waves travel thousands of miles, losing very little energy. On the open ocean, the wave is only a few inches high, passing undetected beneath ships at sea. It races across the ocean at speeds in excess of 500 miles per hour, each wave more than 100 miles long. As the tsunami enters shallow water, it suddenly slows down. The forward energy can rise up hundreds of feet, forming a terrifying wall of water. The tsunami that hit the island of Oahu in 1946 shows how a seemingly harmless wave can quickly inundate a shoreline. Pacific Tsunami Warning Center was established in Honolulu to predict where tidal waves will strike. Seismographs monitor the Pacific for earthquakes which can generate tsunamis. The Warning Center is in constant touch with tide stations throughout the Pacific. These stations measure changes in the water level, indicating a tidal wave's exact location and direction. Once its location is known, the wave's estimated time of arrival to any area can be calculated. A warning can then be issued. These procedures were in full operation at the Warning Center on May 22nd, 1960. In Search Of will recreate the events of this day, a day the residents of Hilo will never forget. 9:38 a.m. 7,000 miles away, a tremendous earthquake shatters the coast of Chile. Seismographs at the Warning Center violently react to the earthquake's intensity.
Tom, we got a big one here.
What do we have there?
Well, it looks like oh boy, that's a big P. Looks like we've got a real good quake here.
It is now a race against time. The men at the Warning Center first determined the quake's magnitude.
8.5, Tom. We got a tsunami.
Throughout the morning, the residents of Hilo, Hawaii, go about their usual business, as yet unaware of the sequence of events taking place. 10:27 a.m. Tide information is requested from Valparaiso, Chile, the closest tide station to the epicenter. From Chile, it will take the wave 15 hours to reach the Hawaiian Islands. 12:18 p.m. The first tide report comes in from Chile.
Here's Valparaiso reporting unusual wave activity.
Yeah, we've got a good wave here. We better give a Pacific-wide advisory. We do have a tsunami spreading across the Pacific.
James Look of the Army Corps of Engineers is sent to Hilo to record eyewitness observations. So little was known about a tsunami's impact that a first-hand account was deemed extremely valuable. James Look decides that a bridge on the bay itself is a safe location. He starts to record normal changes in the water level and currents. at 12:19 p.m. The decision is made to issue a preliminary bulletin to the Hawaiian Civil Defense.
This is a seismic sea wave advisory bulletin. A severe earthquake has occurred in Chile. It is possible that damaging sea wave has been generated. We do not know at this time, but tide reports are expected late this afternoon.
At 5 o'clock, the wave passes the halfway point to Hilo. It has been 14 years since the last major tsunami. Forgotten is the fact that Hilo's bay acts as a funnel, sucking in a wave, further magnifying its height and destructive force. At 6:47 p.m., the general warning is issued to the public.
Attention all stations. Attention all stations. This is the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center. This is a tsunami warning. A severe earthquake in Chile has generated a tsunami which is spreading over the Pacific Ocean. The estimated time of arrival of the first wave is 12 midnight for the island of Hawaii and about 30 minutes later for the island of Oahu. The danger may last for several hours. The intensity of the wave cannot be predicted.
9 p.m., May 22nd, 1960. The tidal wave races toward the Hawaiian Islands. Tide stations closer to Hawaii begin reporting to the warning center.
Getting some information from Tahiti. They're reporting unusual wave activity at 09 p.m. our time.
Hilo is only 3 hours away.